This is how I would search for a tweet I posted a week ago about the release of notes in the Raycast account. There you go. Now I can just copy it, send it to whoever I want, quote it or whatever. It's done. And I did all of this without writing a single line of code. I didn't have to install an extension or let alone create one. It's just the raw power of native, free to use Quicklinks in Raycast. And today I want to show you how to master them. If you've been using Raycast and you've never heard of Quicklinks, then you're in for a treat. But even if you're already using them on a daily basis like me, I'm sure you can learn something from this video, especially towards the end where I get to the more advanced stuff. Now let's learn how to make the most out of Raycast Quicklinks. A common misconception when you first learn about Quicklinks is to think that they can only be used for browser URLs, as if it's just a one-to-one replacement to your bookmarks folder in Chrome. Now, don't get me wrong, they absolutely can. And as a matter of fact, I have loads of Quicklinks that literally just open up a URL in the browser. But even at the most basic level, Quicklinks are so much more powerful than this. I have a Quicklink for my downloads folder, for example, which opens up in Finder. You can have a Quicklink that opens a document directly in the Notion app, like I do with our content calendar. It's a URL, but you can skip the browser altogether. And of course, websites. This one's for Artlist, which is where we usually get the music for these videos. Just having that in the root search saves that extra step of having to open up the browser and typing in the URL. You can create a Quicklink by searching for, you guessed it, create Quicklink. Just give it a name, a link or a path, and right here you can select where it opens. Raycast will be smart about it most of the time. If you add a file path, it will choose your default app for that type of file. A folder path will open in Finder. A URL will open in your default browser, and so on. But the cool thing is that you can change that behavior. So, like I said before, if I have a link to a Notion document, I can choose to open it in the Notion app instead of the browser. Here's a power user tip. Whatever you set here, at the moment you use your Quicklink, you can also change it. Say I have a Quicklink to a folder that's my website project, which I normally want to open in VS Code by default. If I ever want to open it in Finder to manage files or whatever, I can search for it in root, press Command K, and under Open With, I can pick Finder. Very flexible. Here are two extra things that I didn't mention in Create Quicklink. If you want to go the extra kilometer, you can customize the icon, which will appear when you search for it in root. But most of the time, Raycast will pick the one that makes the most sense, especially for websites, where it will fetch the favicon. And lastly, if you're part of a team in Raycast, you can create Quicklinks that will be shared with all of the members in your organization. Here at Raycast, we use that all the time for all of the links that we want everybody to have access to, such as analytics dashboards, support URLs, and linear roadmaps. Our most recent team Quicklinks are these two waitlists for Windows and iOS, which, by the way, if you haven't signed up yet, you should probably do that soon. All right, that's all good so far, but let's take it a step further. The simplest way to enhance a Quicklink is to add what we call a dynamic placeholder. Let's use that Artlist Quicklink I talked about as an example. Instead of opening the website, waiting for it to load, looking for the search field, and typing out what I want to look for, I can skip most of these steps and do that directly from Raycast. I've copied the URL from the manual search I did, and this is how it looks. I can just replace the keyword bit with a dynamic placeholder by opening a curly bracket. You can see there's a bunch of options here, but the one I want is argument. I can give it a name, and let's also rename the Quicklink itself to Search Artlist, because that makes more sense now. Now, when I look for it in the root search, I can just tab to the search field and type whatever I want. And there you go. A little bit of work to set up and a lot of time saved in the long run. For Bruno especially, when he's in the flow, editing this video later and looking for some jazzy tunes. Another way to take Quicklinks a step further has nothing to do with dynamic placeholders. The simplest of Quicklinks can become super powerful if you assign a hotkey to them. Now, here's a must-have Quicklink to show you what I mean. Create an Open Downloads Quicklink, which opens your download folder in Finder. Just reach for it in root, press Command K, configure command, and add your hotkey. I recommend option D for this one. Now, from anywhere you are, you can press that combination and your link will immediately open in the default app you set for it. Now, while we're on this topic, I want to show you one little hidden gem. If you open up the extension settings and search for Quicklinks, you'll see this pass selected text as argument toggle. So let's turn that on. Now, to show you this in action, I'm going to add a hotkey to my search Google Quicklink. By the way, this is a default Quicklink, so you should have that as well. Now, with this setting enabled, alongside a Quicklink with a single argument and a hotkey, I'm able to select some text anywhere on my Mac, and when I press my hotkey, it will automatically open up the Quicklink with the selected text filled in. I mean, I love this stuff. It's so good. Now let's get to the advanced part. Let me show you how I created this Quicklink from the beginning. So first, I open up Twitter on the browser and do a normal search. Twitter supports some special search queries, such as from. So I'm gonna use that. Then, as we did before, I copy the URL and replace the hard-coded values with dynamic placeholders. For Q, we'll use an argument named query, and make sure we add this raw modifier so the values are not encoded. For the from query, we'll add another argument, name it handle, and pass in some options, so then later I can just pick one from the list. And finally, set a default one. We also want the raw modifier here. And just like that, you can search tweets from multiple accounts directly from Raycast. If you're curious about the syntax that you can use with dynamic placeholders, check out the link to the documentation in the description. Now, if you're a developer and you want to get even more advanced, you can create extensions that integrate with Quicklinks. My favorite example of that is Slack. Once you connect your account, you can browse all your channels and conversations from the Slack extension. But what's even better is you can create a Quicklink to any of them directly from the extension. I show this workflow and some other cool tips in this video where we put together a list of extensions that help you stay in the flow. All of the third-party extensions in Raycast are free and open source, and you can check out the code to be inspired and create your own. So if you feel like an extension could use some Quicklink integration, then just go ahead and contribute to it. That's about all you need to know to master Quicklinks and start integrating them in your workflows. You don't have to do it all from scratch though. We have a collection of ready to import Quicklinks that I'll leave a link in the description below, so you can get even more inspiration and start creating your own. Once you do, you can share them with others through the same platform. You might even find some below if people are nice enough to share their creations in the comments. And by the way, remember dynamic placeholders I just showed you? Well, they're also a thing in snippets, another core feature of Raycast. If you want to learn all about snippets, check out this video. And I'll see you in the next one.